for the assignment is to explain the definition of job safety analysis (JSA) to identify and reduce the risk and hazard during installation of air conditioning based on JSA, to provide control mechanism to overcome incident, to give a precise comprehension about risk assessment and hazards, to apply the rules and ways to decrease the amount of risk based on identifying hazards, and lastly to discuss and suggest the appropriate types of control reasonably for each hazard and risk identified. Able to define with details about job safety analysis on a definition, uses, advantages, and the important. Able to explain with details and identify about the works activities associated with each stages of the job with hazards and risks, and able to describe a value of each probability and severity clearly and detailed. Can provide a detailed design of safe operating procedure SOP based on the chosen video, and to explain a complete discussion regarding of job safety analysis by verifying jobs to have a better understanding about risk assessment and control measures and steps, and able to create a detailed metric table. Job safety analysis or JSA tries the protection that can lower or ease the risk and danger, especially among workers. It's also assigning order to work efficiently and limit the risk of getting hurt while doing job tasks. And according to OSHA, job safety analysis is a procedure for assessing employee occupation by ordering and separating them based on dangers and rules. JSA creates and designs safe operating procedure. It's assessing the risk associated with the hazards and to investigate every part that might lead to injury to employee and anyone else. And JSA also identifying a potential harm, causing risk and risk factors. And having a JSA can evade and lower the possibility of crucial accidents with a step of safe procedure. And lastly, to control the risk when the accident cannot be managed. The advantages of job safety analysis is escalate the productiveness and high quality standards, and it's capable of lowering workplace accidents and provide revenue about any jobs and safety information, and it discover risks that before were undetected. And second last, it's able to detect and lower the workplace hazard rates. And lastly, it's able to raise employee awareness and improve safety.
So now for the table 1 task or activity table, the tasks are operating on a slick and damp surface. Second, moving on the air conditioner with just hand. Third, working at a high level. 4 is standing on the slip of concrete. 5th is repositioning at high level. And 6 is passing item through the window. For hazard is fall for task 1, 4 and 5. Item slip away is for task 2. Item fall from high level for task 6. Next, for risk, fracture and death is for task 1, 3, 4 and 5. And hand injury is for task 2 and 6. Then existing risk control, none for task 1, 2, 5 and 6, while wearing a safety harness for task 3 and 4. Lastly, recommended control measure, wear safety boot for task 1, put a safety glove for task 2 and 6, wearing a safety helmet for task 3, and use scaffolding platform for task 4 and 5.
Table 2, table of likelihood. Very often in the most situation expected to happen, more than 90% probability, rating 5. Likely, high probability to occur, 71 until 90% probability, rating 4. Possible, moderate chances to happen, 31 until 70% probability, rating 3. Unlikely, less probability to occur, 10 until 30% probability, rating 2. Rare occurrence involve unexpected event, less than 10% probability, rating 1. Number 3, table of severity. Catastrophic death, lifelong disability, rating 5. Critical, permanent partial disability, rating 4. Major, irreversible injury that need a long time to recovery, rating 3. Minor, irreversible injury that just need a few days to recovery, rating 2. Negligible, minimal abrasion such as bruise, strain, stretch, and tears, rating 1.
Next, I'm going to present the risk metric table. Okay, for this table, we have the severity and the likelihood. To find the risk value, we must to multiply between the severity and the likelihood. For example, the major have the value of 3 and the possible have the value of 3. When we multiply, we will get 9. Now let's look at the table 5, which is the risk value. Okay, for this table, we have the risk level and risk value and also the action. Okay, for the risk level, we have 4 levels, which is the extremely risk, the major risk, the moderate risk, and also the minor risk. Okay, these 4 levels are be separated and be represented by the color of green, yellow, red, and blue. So we can see that 9 is in the blue color, which is the moderate risk.
Okay, from the table 6 here, we can see the job and task list table. The risk value for each work activities, which is the number 1 is 25 and number 2 is 25 and number 2 is 8 risk value. Numbers 4 and 5 is 25 risk value and number 6 is 1 risk value. Table 7, we can see categorize and task the rank. Okay, for the red one is extremely risk and the green one is minor risk. Okay, this table arranged followed by its higher risk until the lower risk, which is the number 1 is higher risk and number 6 is lowest risk. Okay, as the conclusion, based on the job state, the type of work which more concern is operating on a slick and damp surface, working at a high level, standing on a slab of concrete and repositioned at a high place. Because this job needs high-skilled workers which have enough training, knows the instruction and information from the company of the safe work skill to reduce potential harm that can cause health effect. This job required permit to perform in this work.
Now we have come to the end of our presentation. Lastly is safe operating procedure as known as SOP. The first one is when worker standing on a slip beam utilize a scaffolding leader is the same as number 2 procedure. The third one is the worker should put on a protective glove to avoid any incident is the same as number 5 procedure. The risk control is to make sure the worker always wear a safety boots, and the lastly is risk control when working at a height of 10 feet. Make sure to wear a safety helmet.